Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Karrah. I'm 22 years old. I am a student at Central Michigan University studying communications with a double minor in leadership and cultural and global studies.
Nice.
Thank
So,
you.
when and where did you study abroad?
I studied abroad in Reggio Emilia, Italy, fall of 2016, so this past semester. Um, yeah.
Great. So, why did you decide to study abroad?
I wanted to study abroad. I actually made like a bucket list of everything I wanted to accomplish while I was in college, and studying abroad was on that bucket list because I had done some international traveling in my life before, to Europe twice actually, prior to studying abroad to visit family. And since I was young and I first traveled abroad to Europe, I was always inspired about how unique and different life in a different country is. And so one of my goals before graduating is to be able to study and live in another country for a longer period of time, because I'm honestly interested in living my life on a more global scale. And I just wanted to kind of get a tester of what it's like to live in another country, because I can definitely see myself living abroad for maybe 10 years or so of my life. And so I thought studying abroad was a great middle ground of getting college credit, living in a different country, experiencing different cultures and lifestyles, and traveling and, doing everything I love. So that's really a long reason, but that's why.
Nice. And were finances a concern for you? And if they were, how did you afford to study abroad?
Okay, so finances were definitely a huge concern for me, as far as they are for a lot of people. I honestly chose the program I did because it was a low-cost program, meaning that it was a lot more affordable than some of the bigger programs, such as going to Florence or Rome. And I really wanted to study abroad, as I already mentioned, and so I was like, hey, I want to make this the most affordable I can. I'm interested in going to a program that has classes I can use towards my major, and something that is more affordable for myself. So that's the program I chose and the reason why. And basically how I afforded my study abroad trip is I applied for scholarships through my study abroad office at my home university, along with using my financial aid package that I get every year, which is a combination of student loans, grants, and scholarships that I get, and I was able to afford my experience along with working 2 jobs over the summer to save up money for my experience. So it's definitely possible for anyone who's interested. You just have to work hard and utilize your resources and apply for as many scholarships as possible.
Nice. And can you share with us if, while you were abroad, did you experience any discrimination, or did you feel you were treated any differently because of how you identify?
Yes. So as an African American woman, I definitely experienced various different, I guess, kind of discriminations, as well as positive things, but were interesting. So I had a similar hairstyle as I do now, and so it was very a talking point, and a lot of people were very fascinated by my hair and wanted to touch my hair and things like that, so that was interesting. Also, a couple of the Italian friends I had made comments like, oh, you're black, so you can dance, and different things, and that was interesting. On a more serious note, I experienced discrimination with a few people calling me the N-word, which was very offensive, and I had never experienced that in my life back in America, so it was really hard to deal with, and I didn't really understand. But I also found out that other countries are not as politically correct as American culture is, so I don't know if it was necessarily to offend me or if it was, but nonetheless, it was offensive and I didn't like it, but I lived and I didn't let that ruin my experience. I also found out how obsessive Italian people are over blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, so that was interesting. And being one of the only 5 students of diversity, or a minority student in my program, was interesting, because I felt kind of like an outsider, even though in my life I've been I'm accustomed to being one of the few minorities, so I'm not like uncomfortable or like able to um, live my life. But it was just weird kind of being aware of that on top of being like in a different country and being a minority in another country. So that was all very interesting, but nonetheless I had a great time and learned from my experiences.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you feel like you had a support system or people you could go to express any concerns while you're in the country?
I did. So I have family that lives in Belgium, so I always would call them or sometimes visit them if I felt like I needed a sense of home and like family connection. So that was really nice. Also, my program coordinators and like teachers in my program that I studied abroad through were always there and available to talk if I had any questions, and so that was really great. Along with my American roommates and friends, they were always there for me, and my Italian friends also were there. So I really felt connected and like I had a lot of resources if I ever needed to.
Nice. And our last question is, if you could provide any advice for a student who is a little hesitant or fearful about studying abroad, what advice would you give them?
Okay, so my advice to anyone interested in studying abroad is to definitely take advantage of the opportunity. I feel like studying abroad honestly changed my life. I am so happy and filled with joy and just like I have a new like I guess appreciation for life and living and adventure. And I just feel like studying abroad takes you out of your comfort zone. It allows you to learn more about yourself, about the people who you think you know already, and just like about the world around you. It just really challenges you and like allows you to learn and grow as an individual, and I think that's really important because school and studying and like your college experience is important and everything like that, but just traveling and doing that in a foreign country is a very unique experience, and it's something that I would do again in a heartbeat, so I definitely think you should do it as well.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thanks.